LEP, which is a request for change in language preference. There's not a whole lot to completing this tax form. Basically, in this video, we're looking at it. So I'll spend a decent amount of time talking about some of the maybe questions that certain readers might have when it comes to this. So this is part of the Internal Revenue Service's, I guess, initiative to try and increase the accessibility of tax correspondence to a wider variety of taxpayers. So there are different formats. You can file different forms to request. For example, people with reading disabilities can request different types of correspondence and publications with an alternative media preference. So that would increase accessibility for people with reading disabilities. In this schedule, LEP, this is for taxpayers who specifically are looking for correspondence in a language other than English. So as you can tell on this, the 000, that's the default English, and then there are 20 different languages available to most taxpayers. So ranging from Spanish, Korean, Vietnamese, Russian or Cyrillic, Arabic, Haitian Creole, Tagalog, Portuguese, Polish, Farsi, French, Japanese, Gujarati, Punjabi, Khmer, Urdu, Bengali, Italian, and then either traditional Chinese or simplified Chinese. Those are the language options that are available right now. Now, there's not a whole lot of information publicly available about this schedule. For example, there's really not much correspondence about whether or not the IRS intends to make this more accessible in the future. The only thing that I was able to see in the form instructions was that 2023 is going to be the year that the IRS actually starts sending taxpayers correspondence in a preferred language. And there are a couple of things that should be noted in the instructions. The instructions happen to be on the form itself in English. However, there actually is also a set of instructions available on the IRS website in each of these preferred languages. So you can see the form instructions. It's about a 15-page document, and each section of it is the exact same verbiage 21 different times in each of these different languages. So you can read these instructions in your preferred language. I'll put the link to the form as well as the place where you can download the instructions, both in the link in the YouTube video as well as in the article that we've written to cover this. So let's go over a couple of things that might be of importance to you. So what kind of correspondence is included when you file Schedule LEP? The IRS instructions aren't very specific, but you could expect notifications. Pretty much anything that's a formal letter or a notice to you as a taxpayer should come to you as in your preferred language. You can also expect general correspondence, tax forms, instructions, and publications, as well as any accompanying inserts. So right below that, it does say that you won't immediately receive written communications, but this is a commitment that the IRS has in place to try and provide translation starting in 2023. So until you start receiving your correspondence in your preferred language, you'll continue to receive it in English. So you don't have to file this schedule, but you can file it with your income tax return. So if you e-file your tax return, don't file this form by paper. You should be able to e-file a copy of Schedule LEP with your tax return. Now, if you and a spouse are filing a joint tax return and you each want to receive correspondence in a preferred language other than English, then you would need to each complete schedule LEP, even if you're both requesting correspondence in your preferred language. So in the same preferred language. So if what happens is if only one spouse files schedule LEP, then the other spouse will continue to receive his or her correspondence in English. So for both taxpayers who have a preferred language other than English, each spouse needs to complete schedule LEP and attach it to your tax return. So as far as Social Security number, there is a prompt for Social Security number. If you don't have one, you can use an individual taxpayer ID number, ITIN, which is usually what you would receive if you're a resident alien that doesn't have a Social Security number, or if you're a non-resident. You can file IRS Form W-7, which is an application for an individual taxpayer ID number, and you should if you don't have one or the other. Once you have your information at the very top of the tax form and it matches what is shown on your tax return, then it's a simple selection, whichever language you prefer. So this is our hero John Doe, and name and Social Security number, and then you select your preferred language. And that is it with your tax form. So there's not a whole lot of indication about whether or not you need to file this form every year. Generally speaking, this appears to be a one-time selection, but there's nothing in the form instructions, there's nothing in any IRS correspondence that I've seen that says whether you need to file this year after year or whether you can file it once and not have to worry about it. So if I were advising a tax client, I would probably say, out of caution, I would suggest filing this form every year until you're told that you don't have to. So that's all we have for this Schedule LEP. It's a very straightforward form. We covered in depth in our article. If you want to read it, you can go to our website, teachmepersonalfinance.com, type in IRS Schedule LEP, and you'll see our article. You'll also see a lot of articles that we've written on a variety of other tax forms, specifically for other types of accessibility. I'll put links in the show notes to other tax forms that might be applicable, specifically IRS Form 9000, which is the alternative media preference form. So I'll put a link to the article that we've written about that as the IRS keeps trying to improve accessibility to taxpayers. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. And if you like our YouTube video tutorials and walkthroughs, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, or if there's a particular topic that you would like me to cover in an upcoming video, please post those comments in the show notes in the comment section, and I will get to them as soon as I can. Thank you very much, and have a great day.